At the end of the last video, I said we were going to check out some waterfalls today because we thought the crowds would be a little bit less in Yellowstone. Well, we pull into the parking area, completely full. But they had an overflow lot, and that still had spots available. So we're at Mesa Falls Trailhead. We're looking at upper first, then we drive down to see lower.
And it's normally a $5 fee, but if you have a National Parks Pass, it's free.
And apparently there was some bike event today, so we were dodging bicyclists on the drive up pretty much the whole way, including a 65-mile-an-hour highway. Bicyclists were riding right off the road, so that was a little dangerous. There's their snow pole. I cannot imagine 8 feet of snow. You're short, Courtney.
I guess we did forget that this is south, so it's actually closer to the totality zone of the eclipse. So it's possible we have a lot more people camping around here than normal, and so it makes sense this might be more crowded.
It's no big deal. We got a spot. We're not dodging people on the way down, so things are good. Things are good.
The signs are talking about the Yellowstone supervolcano and how the different rocks around here show signs of the super eruption that happened, you know, crazy long time ago.
We just finished Upper Falls, hiking or driving or something. Do we know yet?
We're driving a mile south.
Driving a mile south to Lower Falls.
But first we're gonna get water.
But first we're going to get water, because there's water all over the place here. And I'm not talking about the waterfall, I mean in our jugs. Our blue jugs. That's right, our jugs are blue.
Fairy Falls? But obviously has a lot more water.
All right. These are heavy. And that's how we do water. We are now at Lower Falls, and both of these parking areas are like staging areas for whatever the bike event is that's going on right now. So there's a little bit more traffic around. We are back from our hike, and have I ever told you guys how much we love solar? Oh, full days of solar here in Idaho. Beautiful, sunny skies. We have 500 watts of solar on top of the Airstream. Most of you know that. But let me talk a little bit about how much that runs for us, because that might give you an idea of how much you need if you're looking for solar as well. We have 3 total computers. We have 2 Chromebooks and 1 MacBook Pro that I use for video and photo editing. So we have all of those charging or just maintaining charge. We have my monitor here, which is typically a power drain. So that could be running all day long. Of course, the inverter is on, so we can power all this stuff. We have 2 fantastic fans running. And can you think of anything else?
Just our normal draws from any lights we might have on, and the fridge, though it doesn't draw much.
Well, the fridge is gas, yeah.
Still has a little bit, and the composting toilet.
The compost, yes, yes, 12-volt composting toilet for the exhaust.
We normally
but that's
have
very small.
Our speaker charging, our Wi-Fi, our batteries if we have the inverter on, cell phones, and we'll use the vacuum sometimes.
Basically a lot of stuff, and our 500 watts of solar, assuming a full sky of sun, can easily support all of that stuff and charge our batteries at the same time.
So we'll be up to 100
is
by
super
the end
cool.
of the day.
And we only have 500 watts. What would be the benefit of going with something like 800 or 900 watts? Well, if you have a bigger battery system, then you'll need more solar coming in to charge those batteries a little bit quicker. Or if you don't have a full sky of sun, or if it's cloudy or partly cloudy, or you have trees here and there, more solar will help make up for some of the loss that you have from trees or clouds or whatever happens to be obstructing. So in general, the more solar panels the better, but sometimes you're limited by your battery capacity as well. So there's a balance. But for us, we have 440 watts or amp hours, sorry, of AGM battery power, 220 usable, and 500 on top of our Airstream, and it powers everything that we can possibly want, except for the air conditioner
and the microwave. I was going to say.
And the microwave.
The other reason to have more solar and a bigger battery bank is then you might be able to run your AC or your microwave,
well,
which we can't do.
That would be the inverter as well. We have a 1,000 watt pure sine inverter. We would need a 3,000 watt pure sine inverter to run some of those other larger appliances. We don't really care about those, at least yet. In one of our previous videos, when we talked about our Valterra shutoff valve for our waste tanks, somebody asked me, why do you even need the valve? Why can't you just keep the cap on and equalize that way? So here's our Valterra valve. It just opens and closes with this thing here. We just pull it out to open and then close it back up to shut it off. We have the black tank and the gray tank open, so now they're equalizing between the tanks. And again, we have a composting toilet, so we don't have any sewage, but we even did this before we switched out to a composting toilet. We just let the gray water out first, then opened up the black water tank so the sewage doesn't get into the gray water. But anyway, why can't we just use the cap? For one, we don't have the cap. We lost the cap, so that prevents us from using the cap instead of this valve. But two, I don't know if those caps are considered watertight. I doubt they are. Maybe they are. I don't know, but I wouldn't necessarily trust the cap. And three, it's easier to avoid getting your hand wet or messy when you use this valve. Because like I said, all you do is pull this out and it releases the water. Whereas if I had the cap, I'd have to turn the cap and take it off while the water's coming out. And that just seems kind of precarious. This seems like a safer way to just make sure that everything is nice and clean and it doesn't get to your hands. And that is it for this video. Tomorrow's the eclipse. Not sure what I'm gonna do yet. Might be a time lapse. We'll see what happens. I'll probably bring this camera out and I'll look at the eclipse through the LCD screen on the back instead of straight through the viewfinder. So I have no damage to my eyes. That seems painful. Yeah, so that's it. We will see you tomorrow, or maybe the next day, or I don't know, at some point in the future, sometime soon.